Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here once again, and today I'm bringing you a brand new Genshin Impact video. This one is going to be going over everything you need to be doing in a day when not focusing on your story missions. If you enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like. It really does help out the channel. Hit that subscribe button because we're working our way towards YouTube partner. We also have a charity event going on all October long for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, so check out that in the description down below. I appreciate each and every one of you, but I'm going to jump into it. The first thing you need to be aware of is you have a Resin Meter that is going to recharge over time. You're going to want to deplete that as often as possible because it does take quite a while to recharge. So if you have a full resin bar, use that first thing when you get on. You can do this by defeating world bosses, by going into domains, and you're going to be hunting for materials that way. That is absolutely the first thing you should be doing when you log in every single day. The reason for that is, again, you're going to want to let that resin recharge over time. In order to do that, it's got to be depleted some. You're going to get some items to recharge your resin as well. Save those for when you're doing harder activities on higher world tiers, because they're going to be absolutely necessary for you later on in the end game. Now, the domains are going to be your primary source of upgrade materials for talents and weapons, whereas your world bosses are going to be the character ascension materials. Keep that in mind. Whatever you need, that's where your best farm is going to be. So focus on those when you're getting close to upgrading your weapons or your talents and ascending your characters, because it's going to be expensive as you get towards the end game. Next, you're going to want to focus on some mobs who are going to have some materials that you're going to need to farm as well. These can be found all over the place, but some perfect examples are south of the Tianquyu Valley. You can farm Fatui, Rune Guards, and Hunters and Sisson Mages. At Stormbearer Point, you can farm Hilly Churls, Slimes, and Sisson Mages. And then in Guyun Stone Forest, you can farm Hilly Churls, Rune Guards, Slimes, Abyss Mages, Sisson Mages, and Fatui. Now, these materials come in handy. It may be a little bit boring of a grind at times, but it's going to definitely be a necessity as you reach the end game of Genshin Impact. One thing to keep in mind as you're doing all this, check on your battle pass if you've earned it as well, because in this game, in order to progress your battle pass, you have to do certain daily, weekly, and monthly activities. These activities are specific, and you have to actually accept them after they've been completed. If you don't do that, it won't grant you the progress on your battle pass. So pay attention to those, accept those as soon as they're completed, because it's absolutely vital to do that. And a lot of times your daily activities that you're going to want to be doing will overlap with the battle pass progress as well. So you won't have the battle pass until you hit adventure rank 20, but that's something to keep in mind if you do purchase that and want to go down that road. Next up, you're going to be despawning all the non-resin world bosses. There's a whole bunch of them that you can challenge, and they're not going to use up your resin, but you can farm materials from them as well. Very important. You're also going to want to do your daily guild commissions. Now, 4 missions per day are going to pop up. These are going to also be, like I said, for your battle pass. You have to do your 4 missions. You're going to get rewards from the adventure company. Do those probably before farming the mobs, but it's all dependent on what you need at that time. But those are absolutely vital to do when you log on as well, because they're going to provide you with a bunch of good stuff, a lot of experience for your adventure rank, and things that otherwise wouldn't be accessible quite as easily. So definitely do that. More than likely after you spend your resin down, that's going to be your next best bet. Then we've got some mining locations. Again, one of your daily tasks on your battle pass is to farm 10 materials for mining. It's super simple. There's some good locations like west of Mount Tianang, Mount Azong. A lot of the mountains actually are going to have your best farming locations. So you're going to want to go ahead and farm that as much as possible. because those materials, it may seem like you have a lot early on, but once you get to the end game, everything gets very, very costly. So farm as many of those materials as possible, because it's going to get repetitive. So do it while over the course of time is going to kind of damper that grind a little bit, which can be a little bit time consuming in the grand scheme of things. They've also got region specialty spawns. If you don't know what those are, I know there have been some questions from some of my friends playing the game. Those are mushrooms and lamp lights, etc. Basically items that you'll find only in Mondstadt or Leanway. Now these are materials for character ascension, so be on the hunt for those. There are locations where they're going to spawn a lot, so farm those so that way you can do some of your other challenges in your record books. You can have those materials for ascension later on, and that's going to be next on your list, as well as completing any side quests that you may not have finished, and then farming chest routes. There are places that you'll learn over the course of time playing Genshin Impact where you'll know where the spawns of chests and enemies are going to be pretty standard. You're going to see them quite a bit, and opening those chests are going to be very rewarding in the grand scheme of things. Initially, you're going to look at them, you're like, oh, this isn't a lot of items, maybe it's not worth my while. But if you see chests and you have the time, definitely dive in and snag as many of them as possible, because again, some of the challenges in your record books are going to be things like open 500 chests in Mondstadt. That's a lot of chests. You're going to be grinding a long time for this, so do those as often as possible. If you're on a route, if you're doing on your way to a world boss, you see a chest, try to open it if you have the time. I know some people are going to be stretched, so the order that I've listed things is going to be your best bet as far as having things in priority, but priority rank. But there's going to be a lot of times where things overlap and you can do multiple things at a time. You can do a side mission, you can, on your way to a world boss, farm some chests, mine some ore that you might need, all of that kind of good stuff. So all those to keep in mind. Your priority rank again is going to be spend resin, daily commissions, farm mob materials, despawn all non-resin bosses, farm mining locations, farm region specialty spawns, and farm chest routes. Sounds like a lot of farming, and it will be, but again, you don't have to do all of that every day. Focus on what you need to upgrade your specific characters and really have fun with it, because it is going to be a lot to do if you're reaching that end game and you want to be ready for when they release the 8-player activities. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I read all of them. I will respond to all of them. If you have any concerns about what you've seen, if there's any tips and tricks that you want to add, let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button. It does help the channel, like I said. I appreciate all your faces. I'll catch you later. Have a great one.